Hey everybody, I'm John. I collect cards. Hope you're all doing well. It is Monday night, October 7th. Game 2 of the ALDS series is the Tigers already won today. Tarek Skubal pitched 7 great innings, and the Tigers had I believe it was a 3-run homer in the 9th inning that propelled them to a series-tying victory in Game 2 over the Guardians. So we got a series there. The Yankees and Royals are underway in Game 2 of their series, so I am pulling for the Yankees. Of course, they're my team. I hope Aaron Judge can do something in the postseason this year. He didn't look that great in Game 1, so we'll see how he does tonight. See how the team does, but hopefully the Yankees can go up 2-0. But in this video, what I wanted to do is just sort of share a few things that went on, I guess, in the last few days here for me in the hobby. My weekend actually got started off early as I was asked to be a guest on Sammy Thunder and Jason Everyday Card Collector's confab cardboard and cold ones. And John Wade Boggs fan was also part of the fun on Thursday. And so, guys, I had a blast talking about cards and showing cards and seeing your great cards for over an hour on Thursday night. That was really fun. Thanks again for reaching out about that. So my weekend in the hobby got off to a real fun start. And then it had a real nice ending too. On Sunday I met up with Steve, Vintage on Vintage. We do our Bargain Hunter series together, and we're actually going to have our next episode coming up probably toward the end of this week. Possibly the weekend or end of this week. Steve and I will be recording it very soon, and we have a surprise for this upcoming episode. Our search was for Sandy Koufax, and we do have a surprise coming up on this next episode. So I hope you do tune in on Steve's channel, Vintage on Vintage, which I will be sharing a link to his channel along with Sammy's and John's and Jason's as well. But anyway, Steve and I met up yesterday. He was in Michigan this weekend, and so we met up in Grand Rapids and hit 2 card shops. And I was just up there about 3 weeks ago or so, and went to the Legends shop in Grand Rapids, and it's a really, really, really good card shop. And we went up there again. We went there first out of the 2 card shops we hit on Sunday. First thing first, we had lunch at Dave & Buster's. That was right across the street from Legends, and watched my Jets fall to 2-3, losing to Minnesota in London. So, in that sense, my Sunday didn't get off to a great start, but, the Jets are just a hot mess. So, it's life as a Jets fan. What are you going to do? But, soon enough, I had forgotten about that and looked at some fantastic cards at Legends and made a few pickups. But even before, I'll show you the pickups I made in just a sec, but actually these 3 cards, what these 3 cards are, Steve brought some gifts for me. So he gave me, we had talked about kind of all of these cards in various ways, so he shared this really cool George Brett and Rod Carew card. I believe this is from 1981 Donruss. And then he also brought this really nice 81 Donruss Carl Yastrzemski. And it's because I got these other cards on screen, the focus is a little wonky. But he knows I have a thing for the number 94 a little bit, which I've talked about maybe once before on my channel. I got a lot of interesting coincidences surrounding the number 94. So, yeah, he gave me this card yesterday. I have a Hall of Famer. It's actually really sharp. I mean, this thing could possibly grade a 9. It's that nice. Although, well, maybe the top there, but it's an 8 or 9 kind of quality card. It's a fantastic card. And this Ron Jackson card from 1960 Topps. And the thing with Ron Jackson is he is a player in kind of a new goal I'm starting, where I want to collect baseball players who are in the Western Michigan University Athletic Hall of Fame. Western is the Division I university, not quite in my backyard, but very close. And as you can see here, it was known as Western Michigan College at that time in the 50s. And Ron Jackson had a good career as a Bronco. And so I have this card now in my collection. So thanks, Steve, for these three. And he gave me one more card that I'm going to share now because it wouldn't really fit on one of these stands, I don't think. Look what he brought me here. He gave me this 1971 Top Super of Pete Rose. How cool is this? So we had, I can't remember where we talked about it. It might have been at the National last year or maybe Strongsville this year. We went to both. We were walking the floor at both of those shows, and actually Steve and I, carpooled to Cleveland this year for Strongsville, and had a real fun time. I just happen to really like this card, and the reason why I like it is because you don't see too many cards of players, especially Pete wasn't a Hall of Famer, and he probably will never be one if I had to guess, but Hall of Fame caliber player, I guess, would be accurate, of course, for the all-time hit leader. But when do you see a card with a bat and a glove in the same picture? Not too often. And I also love seeing the on-deck circle so prominent in this picture. So I just thought this was a really cool photo of him. And I was talking about that at some point when we were walking the floor at a show. And wouldn't you know it, he had a second card of this. He recently picked one up slabbed already, and he happened to have this one already, and he gave it to me. And he mentioned to me that this apparently had come from Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. So this card has come to Michigan by way of Illinois, where Steve is, and Hawaii. So very, very cool. So thank you, Steve, and thank you, Dylan, for this card. And I'm going to keep it just like this. I have another card of a 71 Top Super of Reggie Jackson that I picked up at the National this year. It's PSA graded. I don't have it out right now, but actually love having an example that I'll just kind of, I'll keep raw. And actually, these would be hard to sleeve up, but I'm just going to kind of, be careful and gentle with it, but probably just keep it raw like this. And, if I find a good kind of like plastic sleeve for it, I'll put it in it. But overall, I just love having this. They're really thick cards, and they're unique in that way. So just a really cool card. So thank you again for the cards here, Steve. Appreciate it. And then let me show you guys here real quick what we picked up yesterday, or what I picked up yesterday. Steve will probably run through his pickups soon enough on his channel. So let's see. At the first shop at Legends, I picked up, I picked up 3 cards. No, 2 cards? I think I only picked up 2 vintage cards, actually. And here's one of them. I picked up a 1976 Tom Seaver for $5. It's a pretty nice shape for a card I'll just keep like this in my ungraded vintage collection. I didn't have this card, and I kind of like this one from him. I think he has a 70. Yeah, he has a 77 card from the Mets because he got traded in 77. But I kind of like this one of his. And it's really well centered. So I picked that up for $5. It's got a little bit of a divot on here. That's on his sleeve. It might be hard to tell in the top loader, but that's the reason why it's only $5. You could sort of tell the light. Yeah, it's right there. So I think that's the main reason why it's only a $5 card. Otherwise, it's quite a nice card. So I got that one, and then the main pickup I had for the whole day actually was this really. I'm just going to show it now, and then I'll show the other shop's pickups in a sec. But I picked up a Mickey Mantle yesterday. And it's a playing era Mantle, but it's not a baseball card. I picked up a 1962 top stamp of the Mick in an SGC3. This came just kind of like, and it was really, we were about to leave, and I maybe was just going to come away with the Seaver, and I had something else that was $10 that I ended up putting back because I just didn't need it when I found this. And gosh, I was looking at it and just sort of, I comped it out. There's, the pop count's not huge for this. It's not small. It's like less than 500 in terms of PSA pop count. And if you counted SGC, it's probably close to 500, I guess, or maybe just over. But that's really not that much if you think about it. For as many slabs there are of regular Mantle cards. But at the same time, I just liked having this or maybe potentially buying this. And so I did. It was priced very fairly, I thought. He had it listed for $75, and I got it for 71 and change because I have a membership discount at Legends, which pays for itself on like a couple of visits a year. So yeah, I mean I saw an SGC one in the last like year or so went for $75. So the prices are a little all over the map. So you almost have it's you can't really rely on that, and I really wouldn't for it's a two-digit card in terms of price. Do I really like this? Yes. So I ended up buying it. That's kind of how I looked at it after thinking about it for about 5 minutes. I'm like, I think I got to get this. So I did. It's off center. I sort of did a courtesy look at some stamps after I picked it up. It looks like centering is a big issue on these. Registration can also be a pretty big issue on these. This one's not perfectly registered, but it's not bad. I've seen worse examples where the face is even more blurry. And I've seen examples where the black outline really gets into the teeth of the stamp on the edges. So I thought overall this was a pretty good copy. Here's the back. It's a clean back too. So overall, yeah, I thought this was a really cool pickup. I mean, I don't see myself picking up any other stamps, but I thought to have a Mickey Mantle one in playing era, they won the World Series in '62. They had just won in '61. So it's at its peak, maybe just past its peak, but, still like they're winning championships at this point. So I just really like picking this up. So I thought I'd share it. Okay. There's a bit of a glare on that slab, so we're just going to take it off camera. Maybe I'll put it back up at the end. But let me show you what I picked up at the other shop we went to, which was called Johnny Ford's. I picked up 5 cards there, actually. Starting, if I can get them from my other table here. Let me show these 3 $5 pickups I made. I picked up this 1969 Juan Marichal for $5. Those corners are really nice. A little off center to the top, but it's a pretty nice portrait of Juan Marichal. I thought that was a great card to pick up for $5. So I picked that one up. I picked up this is a card I've wanted for a long time, even just to have raw for now. I picked up a 1970 Topps Tony Perez. Love that pose. Love that sling pose and the dugout and the bat rack in the background. I think that's a fantastic card. And this is one I could pick up graded someday. It's not a priority by any means, really. I'm not a Reds fan or a Tony Perez collector per se, but this is a great card. And so I just wanted to finally add it to the collection. And like I said, again, I will probably get that one, buy a graded example of that someday. But then also the last $5 card I picked up from there, I saw this, and you know what? I was like, after the day they had earlier, the Jets, let me pick up a card from memory lane, so to speak, from Jets fans, even though I wasn't around in '68. I believe that's a '68 Topps, Don Maynard. I don't have my football sets fully memorized, but I'm fairly certain that's '68 Topps. I love the lettering on that set because they are practically identical to the lettering style, like specifically the name Don Maynard, the lettering style that NBC Sports used on their 60s and 70s even broadcasts. If you were to find a YouTube clip and just sort of watch the start of a game with like Kurt Gowdy talking or whatever, you'd know what I mean. The lettering is identical. So seeing this, even though I didn't live in the 60s, it really kind of puts me in that time as a young TV watching, youth, so to speak, who just loved watching sports as a kid. So I love the lettering, the typography on that card. So as much as the photo. But I picked those 3 up for $15 total. And then here's a card I picked up for $20. I had it listed for $25. I picked it up for $20, and I might grade this someday. I might. I'm not sure, but I might. It's a second year Ron Santo 1962 Topps. I think this is a really nice card. Another and a photo I just really a photo and a card I just really wasn't familiar with. And this one just kind of jumped out at me yesterday. I was like, this is a really nice card. Condition-wise, it's really nice too. Wood grain borders are in pretty nice shape, especially the vertical edges. The vertical edges are in fantastic shape. Here's the back. Let me turn that over a little gently here. The back had this one thing here that for a second I thought maybe was paper loss, but the dealer, the owner, and I also we looked at it under magnification. The print matrix, the dot matrix printing is still there, so to speak, in terms of the print dotting is still there. In terms of the colors, so that is just some kind of print defect and not paper loss. And I took it out of here and also was just feeling it, and I could tell it was not paper loss. So I picked this one up for 20. And again, I don't know if I'll grade it. I might, but I just really, really like having it. So the colors just really jump. The blue with the brown, the hints of red in his uniform. I thought that was a really nice card. So I added that. And finally, the last card I added was a modern card. It was a bit of a splurge. I paid $40 for this, but I didn't mind doing it. I don't have much Shohei Otani stuff because I really wasn't collecting them a few years ago when I got back in, and I'd like to have a few nice cards of his. So this is his third year. It's 2020 Topps Gold Label. It's numbered out of 75. I put it into this after I picked it up yesterday. I put it in this one touch that I had handy. I don't think it will gem out after looking at it a little bit more here at home. So I probably will not ever grade it. I think it's just kind of a cool card to have. I mean, I think it could get a 9 maybe, but I don't think it would gem out to a 10. What I really love about this card, along with the color matching, I really like how it's a class 1 red. So it's numbered to 75, and there are 3 classes for Gold Label, which I don't believe they make anymore. I think they discontinued that series, that set. But I love that there's a shot of him pitching and hitting. That's perfect for Otani. So it's just, in that sense, I think this is a fantastic card, like even more for that reason. So anyway, those are the cards I picked up from Johnny Ford's. And I'm running close to 20 minutes here, but I'm going to do this anyway. I got 2 TTMs in the mail today, so we're going to open them up right here and call it a video. There's a chance one of these could be a notable, and otherwise they're going to be 2 kind of journeyman, kind of, longtime players that, us vintage folk, if you're, like me, have probably heard of, but probably wasn't an all-star. Let's see what this first one is. Yep, here's one here, Duffy Dyer. As a Met here. I think he played mostly for the Mets. I think he may have played for a couple of other teams later in his career. Pretty sure he did, but nice signature there. Thank you, Mr. Dyer. 73 Topps. And then this other one here. Let's see if it's from the player. I'm hoping it is from, but whoever it is from, I'm glad I got it today. But let's see. It's only 1 card, so it's a chance it's him. Oh, it's not him. It's another journeyman pitcher. It's okay. Thank you, Mr. York. Jim York sent me a autograph here, so on a 76 Topps. So those are the 2 autos I got today. I have one out to Willie Wilson of the Royals legend. So I was thinking maybe one of these 2 were from him, which would have been a bit apropos given it's Royals and Yankees going on right now. I thought it could be a nice way to bookend it, but wasn't quite to be. But thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'll hold up the mantle here to sign off. Have a great week, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.